You know, it's just like those Palestinians, they're very dramatic. Israel killing us. But they never die. I mean, they always come back. You know, they're very difficult to kill, very difficult people to kill. I know because I'm married to one. I tried many times, couldn't kill her.
I mean, there's a dark humor there, and I understand why. Because
no, it's not dark humor. I try to get to her every time, but she uses our kids as human shields. I can never take her out.
Again, I understand the humor, but to be serious, Bassem, about this.
Let's, for a minute, imagine a world without Hamas.
Right.
What will this word look like? Let's give this word a name, and let's name this word the West Bank. Hamas has absolutely no control in the West Bank, and since the beginning of this year, only through August, 37 Palestinian kids were killed. No music festival, no paragliding, no Hamas. Since the occupation of the West Bank, 7,000 Palestinians were killed. No music festival, no paragliding, no Hamas. The question is, what is a proportionate response? Because it has been different from one tier to another. So if you look to this graph, for example, this is the death of Israeli and Palestinians, and it's changing from 1 year to year. It's like fluctuating like crypto. So my question is today, what is the going rate today for human lives? I mean, 2014 was a great year for Ben Shapiro. 88 Israelis were died, and there was 2,329 Palestinians killed on the other side. That is one Israeli for 27 Palestinians. That is a very good exchange rate. What I'm saying is, what is the exchange rate for today? I think that Ben Shapiro is one of the smartest people who ever walked this earth. He's very, very smart. I follow him, and I believe everything he said. And when he came on your show, his solution was, and I quote, his solution was that the solution for this is for Israel to annex Gaza and to kill as many son of bitches as possible to make sure that this will never happen again. And anyone who called for a ceasefire will be a terrorist sympathizer. So God forbid, I don't want to be labeled as a terrorist sympathizer. So I agree with Ben Shapiro. I think we should kill as many son of bitches as possible.
Well, let me,
so far,
but Bassem, let me...
so far, 3,500 people were killed, including 5,000 son of bitches in the bombing of the Baptist hospital as we speak right now. 1/3 of those 3,500 were children. So my question to Ben Shapiro is, how many more son of bitches do we need to kill so Ben Shapiro is happy? The thing is, I am so glad in the introduction that you mentioned the Iraq war. I applaud you, Pierce, for saying that, because you were honest about it. You said that spreading lies like WMDs make people look at those people as less of humans, and they would accept the death of 1 million Iraqi, whether by sanctions or by invasion, right? You are a good man. This is amazing. And you know what is similar? Is when you spread the lies of 40 decapitated babies, although it was refuted. So what happens when people hear that, you know, killing babies is horrible. But when you say decapitated 40 babies, you are planting a certain image with a certain trigger in people's mind. He said that the solution for those Palestinians is to go into a vast land of Sinai and live into tent cities temporarily, temporarily, wink wink, until we build Gaza again, and then we invite you back. يعني عبط احنا بقى.
Have genocide on ground, and what's happened is we're seeing no one can say no to Israel. The United Nations isn't able to say no to Israel without repercussions. Media figures aren't able to say no to Israel without. Unfortunately, the Palestinian people don't have the luxury of the time to think of Hamas. The voice notes we're receiving from our Palestinian brothers and sisters from under the rubble, from mothers who've lost their children, from home families that have been eradicated. The sentiment we're getting from the Palestinian people is, do they see us? If the United Nations, that's whole premise was to avoid this kind of genocide, was created to avoid this kind of humanitarian crisis, cannot stand up to one spoiled brat of a fascist organization, then where are we in this world? And what's sad is that it's a top-down movement. You have the United Nations unable to speak to Israel. You also have but you've seen that from the other side. You know, it's interesting because this point brings one to be called and dubbed anti-Semitic. You know, I believe that Israel is the most anti-Semitic entity ever. We used to live with our Jewish brothers and sisters here in the Middle East and in Palestine, and the creation of Israel on a racist premise differentiated, because you didn't have Jewish Arabs or whatnot. You just had Arabs. They were Christian. They were the people of Palestine.
You're not answering my question.
They were Muslim. They were Jewish. I don't need to, because the problem is
Actually, you do need to.
Why are we having a debate? Is it not to solve, or is this for another sensational interview? Is this a sensational interview,
it's
or
not
is
about
it
sensation.
To solve? I am
You've
here
accused-
to say
you've
something
accused
clearly,
Israel of
that
genocide.
we need a ceasefire because the world is in danger. I
Well,
have
I would
accused
say-
Israel of genocide. I am
Yes,
accusing Israel
and
of
I'm
genocide.
simply saying
this
to
is
you-
a genocide.
and
They
I'm
have
simply
said
saying
it's a
to-
genocide.
Rahma,
I am, you know what's, again, this is a dangerous debate, because what you're trying to put me in is, once I condemn
Just asking you a question.
Once I condemn these people, what that then means, why is this dangerous for me? Because what that then means is that you can then answer me and tell me that Israel has the unequivocal right to defend itself, what that means is that they eradicate a people who end up being your Halloween
you're
costumes.
wrong. No.
So
Let
why
me
not
clarify.
put a stop to this
Let me
now?
clarify.
They're not on equal footing. Excellent question. You apply international law. You apply international law. You allow the United Nations to do its job. When the Hamas situation happened, for example, it was supposed to be the Red Cross to go and negotiate. Israel is stopping all of that. On top of that, it's also terrorizing the media. On top of that, it's also terrorizing individuals. On top of that, it has money being poured in from the United States. On top of that, it has the backing of the European Union. On top of that, it has the backing of Britain that started this whole farce. So what ends up happening is, who's speaking for the Palestinian people? So for a solution to happen, you need to empower the United Nations so that Israel is not making a mockery of the United Nations. How am I needing to reiterate this more and more? I am giving you a solution.